I've always thought it'd be fun to play in a band. Yeah, I'd play the keyboards, or maybe try out for the role of lead vocalist. But of course, it might be fun to pick up an electric guitar and shred a bit as the drums and bass set a groove. Yeah, there's just nothing like going to a concert and watching all the instruments come together. 5 or 6 people, each playing their own instrument, but somehow they can figure out how to all work together to make something bigger than each instrument could do on its own. If the guitar player decided to play his own lick, the vocalist wouldn't know when to sing her lyrics. If the drummer figured a different rhythm would be better for the song, the bass player would find himself off tempo. The whole thing would fall apart. Playing in a band, making music together, that takes a lot of cooperation. Cooperation is simply working together to do more than you can do alone. And as you know, cooperation isn't something that just happens in a band. It can happen on a school project, a construction site, and even in a family. In fact, cooperation is really a spiritual concept because we're invited to cooperate with God. We're made to cultivate and develop the world around us that God created. God put all of us together on this planet to do more together than we could ever do alone, and in some cases, with God's help, to do things that might even seem undoable. We think that's a great reason to spend the month of March talking all about cooperation. As we do that, we want every leader, every parent, and every child to memorize Ecclesiastes 4:9. 2 people are better than 1. They can help each other in everything they do. What a great reminder that we are better together. Just imagine what could happen if kids and families in your church discovered that through cooperation, they can make a huge difference in your community. To discover more about cooperation, we'll head to the Bible and learn through stories of people who came together in faith to do something they never could have done alone. We start off with the Israelites. When they were set free from slavery in Egypt, God gave them all sorts of guidelines for how to live. These guidelines also included ways to express their worship, including the building of a place of worship called the tabernacle. God could have had Moses build this on his own, but instead, God called expert artists and craftsmen, along with all kinds of people, to work together to build this incredibly intentional place of worship. God wants the same thing for us and how we use our gifts and talents. Bottom line, God wants us to work together. Then, in week 2, we head to a really great and kind of bizarre story where Joshua is battling a group of people called the Amalekites. As the battle starts, Moses stood on a hill with his brother Aaron and another guy named Hur. As long as Moses kept his arms up, the Israelites stayed in control of the battle. But when he dropped his arms, the Israelites started losing. So Hur and Aaron made a really great decision. They stood on either side of Moses and helped hold up Moses' arms. And with God's help, the Israelites were victorious. Just like Hur and Aaron, it's important for a child to realize that they can cooperate to help others win. Bottom line, work together to help someone succeed. In week 3, we'll discover a paralyzed man who just happened to have some really good friends. When the man's friends heard that Jesus was in town, they tried everything to get their friend to Jesus. When they got there, the place was packed. Instead of giving up, they went up to the roof and tore a hole big enough to drop their friend down right in front of Jesus. Jesus did something unbelievable because of their faith and cooperation. We want kids to see that they can cooperate to meet the needs of others. Bottom line, work together to help someone in need. We wrap up the month taking a look at how we can cooperate as the church. In the beginning of Acts, Luke offers some insight to how the early church shared what they had and worked together to help each other through the basic problems of life. God has given each of us a gift, and each of us can use those gifts together to do more for God than we could do on our own. Bottom line, make a habit of working together. This month, think about this question. What can you do together? What can you do together as a family? And what can you do together as a church to demonstrate to your kids how God designed us to work together? This month, help your kids and families think about how you can cooperate with God to help change the world. Just imagine what you could do in your community through the power of cooperation.